Hello everyone, welcome back to another session with me. This will be the wrap-up session of the Zentangle Dingsplatz series. Hope you enjoyed the series. Thank you for all your comments, feedback. Today we will be drawing one more tile using the same concept of a loop as we do in Dingsplatz. However, today we will be using a different kind of a loop. This is a tile that I did this morning and it uses the same loopy kind of a string. I will just show you how did I draw the string for this tile. So I drew one set of loops on the outside, these loops, 4 loops on the outside, and then I drew loops in between, something like this, and these loops were turned towards the inside, right? And that's how I created this string, right? Today we'll do double loop, so again a different kind of a concept. So today we'll draw a tile using the same concept of loops but a double loop, right? So what I'm going to do is, again I'm going to start in the same fashion. I'm drawing with my pencil, so drawing 4 loops first like this, and then I will draw another set of loops like this. Yeah, so it looks a little different. Why? Because we are forming this kind of a shape in the center. Yeah, so you can create exciting strings using the same concept of loops as we do for Dingsplatz and create beautiful tiles. So let's today work on this tile. So I'm straight away going to pen this string, right? Because we need the string, we'll be working around the string. So I'm just going to go around and ink what I just drew with my pencil. If you want to shape it a little bit, you can do that as you draw your string with the pen. Take your time. Slowly ink your string. Right, so I just showed to you how we just drew a double Dingsplatz with 4 loops. Yeah, now these triangular shapes up to us, so I am again going to use the same fragment that we used in, I think, our previous session. So just add aura on all 3 sides and squeeze in an orb inside. A nice and very commonly used fragment. Don't bother about the sizes being different, that's fine. Ink the rest of the space black, as it adds to the look of this fragment. So just play around with the string, choose any tangles that you feel like drawing at that point of time. Right? And the center space, probably we will draw something like a ravel or garlic cloves, anything like that, right? So let me start from a point here and add an S shape, add one more S shape, add probably Knightsbridge or some orbs inside this section. Again, do that for all the 4 corners. So I'm going to go with a tangle called ravel. It starts with this basic S shape. Even if you don't add anything inside this aura, that's fine. You can just add further auras or lines. Take your time, slowly insert these orbs. Yes, I'll just zoom in a little. Yeah. And then I'm just going to add auras on both sides. In the same fashion, the S stroke. So I have added 3 layers. Take your time, slowly. You can add as many as you wish. I have started with 3 and then we can extend it more. Right, once we are done with that, again I'm going to add auras on both sides and fill up the rest of the space. Like this. A beautiful pattern to draw. It's all about auras. Yes. Now these loops, again, our choice, what do we want to add? So I'm going to add a tangle called brace inside these loops. So what I've done is added a center line, and now I'm going to add these inverted V shapes. I'm also going to add a double line, that is aura these slanting lines like this. And then I'm going to ink alternate sections. Brace is a Zentangle original, a simple tangle to draw, and a drama tangle. Looks excellent when you shade it. If you want, you can add something else inside these bands instead of inking. I want that drama, so I'm inking it like this. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that exercise for all the loops. Slowly, take your time. Yeah. And again, ink. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that for all my loops. You take your time, slowly, do it at your own pace. So continuing in the same fashion, I'm now on my last loop. Drawing the inverted V shapes, dividing my loop into sections and then inking alternate sections. Tangle is called brace. Yeah. Right, so we are done with that. Now we are just left with the rest of the spaces on the tile. I'm first going to add an aura all around before I go ahead and tangle around this beautiful string. So slowly go around, add an aura. kind of repeating the string. The rest of the spaces, whole lot of tangles that you can choose from. If you want to build a connection with the center, then you can fill the rest of the spaces also with ravel. And if you don't wish to build that connection, you can use any other tangle that you wish to. Yeah, so let's get started. Let's fill the rest of the tile with the tangled ravel only. Yeah, and we shall see how does this look like. So I'm going to start with straight lines. This time I'm not using the S stroke, and I'm going to randomly draw lines and add auras around it. This version of ravel, at times called garlic cloves. Small little spaces, add an orb. Again, line, add 3 or 4 auras on both sides. Small spaces left here and there. Squeeze in some tipples and fill the rest of the tile in this fashion. Yeah, so just take your time. Try adding equal number of auras. Yeah, so I'm going to continue like this. Draw at your own pace. Draw lines and add auras on both sides of the line like this. Small little spaces left in between. You can either ink them or you can add some small tiny tipples. Take your time. Yeah, so that's one section. If you want, you can also change your tangles. You need not fill all of the tile with the same, right? We shall see that as we progress. If you want to change the tangles that we are using and not fill up the entire tile with the same, we can do that also. Again, starting from the other side, start with a line. You can also start with some random dots. Keep connecting the dots with lines and then add auras. That's another way to go about drawing the same tangle. Take your time. Lot of drawing behind there since spaces are small. Yes? Continue in the same fashion. Yeah? So I'm now on the fourth section, basically picking opposite sections so that if I want to insert some other tangle, I can do that. Take your time. I'm just adding curved line auras. Start with a straight line. Add auras on both sides. Small little spaces. Just add some tipple. Take your time. No hurry. You don't even have to lift your hand as you draw those repeating lines. Draw behind wherever required. Take your time. Yeah. So I think we are done with 4 sections. Now the rest of the sections you can choose any other tangle. I will go with a simple tangle called Printums, which is my go-to tangle. So just go with some weighted Printums. Add a little extra weight as you draw them. Something like this. And I'm going to add really big ones. Yeah. So the auras are going to be many. Yeah. Again, I'm going to start one here. Add the weight as you draw the auras. Go around, come back, add the weight. Again, go around, come back, add the weight. Again, go around. Continue in the same fashion. Go around. Add some extra ink. Again, go around. Add some extra ink. And close it. Probably one more. Yeah. So these are really big ones, and you can see how beautiful they look like once you add that extra ink. Yeah. So let's continue with that. Take your time, slowly. Don't bother too much about whether the lines are steady or not, whether the curves are equidistant or not. Everything looks nice as far as Zentangle is concerned. No mistakes. Certain things come with practice. So just go ahead and draw as much as you wish to. So I'm drawing some really big printums here. Again, add a hidden one here. and probably one or two more. Try drawing behind, always gives you nice shading opportunity. Yes, so you can add some weight like this. Go ahead and add some more. And the rest of the space, probably you can add some extra auras and some tipple like this. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that exercise in the rest of the sections that we have. Slowly at your own pace. Go ahead and add that extra ink. Right? And the next one. Take your time. If you want to come back and add that extra ink, even that is possible. Do it the way you feel like. Yeah. So I'm done drawing my printums, and this is how our tile looks like now. Let's get to shading. So as far as shading your ravel is concerned, you just have to add a little graphite at the center. And then the three corners of the triangle. Make sure you leave a white highlight as you blend. So I'm adding very little graphite where the triangles are small. Yeah. Then moving on to our brace, so just darken one side. We really don't have to add on the black ink. Yes, so brace is a beautiful tangle to shade. Again, it adds a lot of dimension, shading. Take your time. Explore more ways to use the same string or the loops to create beautiful strings. Yeah, so we are done with that. Now the rest of the section I'm just going to shade as a whole. Yeah, so just add graphite on the outside of your string. Go all around. Add the graphite all around your string. Yeah. So I have added my graphite all around, and now I'm just going to blend it. Make sure you don't blend too much. Try leaving some area white in between these loops also, if possible. Take your time. Slowly blend the graphite. Yeah. So we are almost done. Yeah. Now if you want to highlight the other side of brace and highlight some of the in-between sections left here, you can do that. Although it's already white and there is not much need. But if you want to rub your chalk here, you can highlight a little. So as far as brace is concerned, just add chalk on the other side. Yeah. And if you have a different stub, just soften the chalk. Make sure it is not patchy. That's about it. As I mentioned, if you want, you can add some touches of white in these sections. If you want to highlight it a little. That's about it. A little highlight here. Yeah. So that's our tile for today. And this is the wrap-up session of this series. Let's close our tile, add our chop, sitting somewhere cozily. Yes, must sign and date your tile. I shall see you again with a new session, with a new series. Till then, have a good time. Bye-bye.